Fellas, we got about 15 minutes before we wrap up here. So I want to finish this up with a segment leading into the 2025 NFL season. Each of you is going to have the opportunity to rank, or not rank the quarterbacks, we did that last week, but rather rank the teams in the division. Who is going to finish first? Who is going to finish last? And who's going to finish in between? James, let's start with you.
Yeah, so firstly for me, I have the winner of the NFC South being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've won the division 4 years in a row now. They've made the playoffs 5 years in a row now. And I think that they got better this offseason. You added Hassan Reddick to the pass rushing group. Servassier Dennis is coming back healthier. Yes, you do have Chris Godwin, who's not going to be 100% available to start off the season, but you do have Emeka Egbuka, who they drafted in the first round. The dude's an absolute dog. Now, in second place, with an 8-9 record, I've got the Atlanta Falcons. The reason I have the Atlanta Falcons at an 8-9 record is for two big reasons. Number one is their quarterback. I do not fully believe in Michael Penix yet. We have seen a very limited amount of him. He threw up 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. A lot of people have been praising his arm talent. He's great at throwing a deep ball, and that's awesome. But I just cannot believe in a team that has a quarterback who still needs to prove it and a coach who I've personally experienced and know that he isn't necessarily the best coach in the world right now, in my opinion. In fact, he might be the worst coach in the South. At 7-10, I've got the Carolina Panthers. Look, I like where the Panthers are heading in terms of their direction. I think that they are an organization that is getting better under Dave Canales. You're starting to see things gel a little bit more. Chuba Hubbard last year was an absolute dog. You have Bryce Young starting to come into his own. They're getting some better defensive pieces in there as well. Finally, I have the Saints in last place with 4-13 record. Not great for the Saints, but that's because the Saints are not necessarily a great football team right now. They are an organization that is still trying to find themselves. I really like Kellen Moore as a head coach. I think that he can go out there and do some really, really good things. But we saw what Spencer Rattler was last year in limited action, and we just see the makeup of this Saints roster right now. They're a lot of pieces away. They do have some guys on the offensive side of the ball, and even some guys on the defensive side of the ball, I should say, but we also see a lot of aging veterans who are probably going to get cycled out of this team in the next couple of years.
Section below, Berto, let's go on over to you because you were not happy with the predictions of your Atlanta Falcons. So let us know what you think the final divisional standings are going to be for the NFC South by the end of 2025.
Falcons in first place. 11-6 record. I'll give that to the Dirty Birds. Now, see, this is what a lot of people don't understand, right? So Falcons this year will be better offensively in every statistical category. Why? The Michael Penix effect, right? We finally got a talented quarterback that can push the ball down the field, and it's going to bring to life a lot of the offensive terminology that Zach Robinson couldn't do with Kirk Cousins last year. Now, that be to limitations, injuries, you name it, whatever the hell Kirk Cousins was holding back. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, sure, they've been the winners of the last couple years, but that's a very veteran-vested offensive club, offensively and defensively. How much can they, still play at an elite level? Everybody starts, the wheels start falling off at some point. I think this is the year that happens to Tampa Bay. And the biggest thing is, and James could probably, agree to this, Grizzard, the offensive coordinator, how can he maximize what Liam Cohen and Dave Canales were able to do with Baker Mayfield? At 8-9, the Carolina Panthers. You're not going to sell me on this that Bryce Young getting benched and then getting back on. All of a sudden, this guy's doing a 180 change, and he's going to reinvent the wheel as far as offenses and whatnot. Do I expect them to be offensively competitive and defensively competitive? Yes, I was a big fan of what Carolina did in the offseason during the draft and with the free agents that they brought in. But still, it's not going to be enough with the firepower that's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. And sadly, I'm sorry, TJ, you're my brother, man. 2-15. 3-14. It's a rebuild, and it's unfortunate. Sure, the news broke today that Spencer Rattler will be the starting quarterback, and it should be an embarrassing metric because Tyler Shook couldn't even beat out Spencer Rattler. So, to that, could Tyler Shook be a bust down the line? Potentially, if he can't beat out a mistake-driven quarterback that Spencer Rattler was for the ball club last year.
Clay, let us know, what are your rankings for the NFC South in 2025?
I'm going to keep it real like I did last year. Tampa Bay is going to win this division again, and they should, right? I think the thing is I think they are going to take a step back. I think this is a division again that anybody can win in. I really do. I actually am going to give the Buccaneers a 9-8 record because the reason why is now you're on your third offensive coordinator. And then I've got my Carolina Panthers at 8-9. I think that the Carolina Panthers have done everything that they needed to do for a progress year. That's what this is. Now, are they going to win the division? No. Are they one player away from winning the Super Bowl and making a playoff run? No. All right. The good news is that Bryce Young showed glimmer of hope last year, the last 12 games of the season. I mean, with a 4-6 record, had the last 3 games of the season. He had 10 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. Now, then there goes the Atlanta Falcons. I have them as 8-9 as well. I think that this is a team every year that we always see the same hype. We see always the same optimism that Berto keeps giving, but then we always see the same disappointment every single year, right? This is a franchise.
Are you telling me that you knew that Kirk Cousins was going to fall off the rails for us? Hell no, not even me as a fan would have.
This franchise hasn't cracked more than 8 wins since 2017. So what are we talking about? The same year that they sniffed the playoffs. Translations, the Falcons are guilty until proven innocent. So,
oh my God,
your expectations fairly square on Michael Penix, the guy that made a ground hamburger, right? The second-year quarterback that takes a legitimate leap forward, who got beat by that midget y'all keep talking about that had 5 touchdowns on his head.
Oh, so, boy, you guys hold on. You hold on to that very much.
Yeah, you hold on to that too.
No.
All right? Hold on to that 5 touchdown. Did I not just say 8-9? 8-9. I mean,
we're better than 8 and 9, and you know that, sir.
You don't have to agree
know that. You know that we're better than that than what the record states.
Okay,
you knew
and
that.
And again,
the NFC South last year
the
had
Falcons
Kirk
are
Cousins
guilty until proven innocent.
Had Kirk Cousins not, failed to, to live up to expectations last year, the Falcons would have been an NFC South champion. Bar none. We swept your beloved Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And James, whenever you want to elaborate or speak on that, please do. The floor will be yours. And of course, we split with New Orleans, and we split with you guys. I guess I'll give you that victory. But that victory in itself doesn't mean shit, because you know what? By that point, Raheem Morris had already given up the defensive.
Man, why is it always an excuse with the Atlanta Falcons, man? My goodness, man. Look, it's rather you got it. It's rather you got it or you don't, man. Look, y'all boys are some choke artists. It is what it is. No matter, look, every single freaking year, y'all do this. Y'all get hyped up about draft picks and players that got potential, and then all of a sudden, when it don't go your way, all of a sudden they got 1,000,001 excuses. You're not that good, dude, until you actually do something.
Now let me finish what I got to say, so we can move on to TJ. New Orleans Saints, I'm going to give them 5-12. All right. I think that they're going to be one of those teams that's always, yes, that they're in the rebuild mode, right? They're going to be the lowest projected. They are in a rebuild mode. You got Spencer Rattler, right? Who is going to be your starting quarterback. He started last year. He was 0-6 last season. You got Tyler Shook, has potential, but there's no wins to his name. So,
Jay, wrap us up here. What are your thoughts? Do you also have the Saints finishing as bad as everybody else in this division is projecting? Let us know.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with who I feel like going to win the division. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to win the division because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the best team in this division at this point. Like, I don't care about what the other teams got and what we feel like they're going to do. I haven't seen it. So until proven otherwise, coming in at number 2, I got the Carolina Panthers. I think the Carolina Panthers, towards the end of the season, honestly, like they showed like a different side of themselves. I don't think people are paying that much attention to them. Towards the end, like when Bryce Young like got benched and he came back in, it was a different type of energy that was coming to the spot. Coming in at number 3, I'll put the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Falcons, I got them going
thank you, TJ.
Maybe 7-8 wins. Look, I'm the same way with James. Like, I gotta see it. Like, I hear like every single year, I hear about the potential of the Atlanta Falcons, what they got. And I seen somebody in the chat say, we're upset that we believe in our team. It has nothing to do with that. And last, I have to put my New Orleans Saints. I mean, look, I am not delusional. I know that the New Orleans Saints are in a rebuild. This is a new coach, a sorry salary cap, aging players, and you're trying to infuse some young youth players on this football team. So I understand it's going to be a struggle. They'll probably win some games they have no business winning. They'll probably lose some games, over the course of time.